was waiting for the bus. I'm, very dressed down. I'm wearing jeans and a T-shirt, and I have a little satchel, always has my water symbol in it. And somebody walks up to me and goes, "So, you're a freelance writer?" And I go, "I don't know, no. I'm just waiting for the bus." He says, "Oh, yeah, you write poetry too, huh?" Well, actually, yeah, I do. And that book I have that I mentioned that just came out is a poetry book. And I'm looking, I think, have I been made? And the woman says to me, "And you're getting on the number 10 line." Well, as I said, it was a depot, several bus lines left. It was the number 10 line that went to the lab. So I figured at that point that maybe there had been attention paid to my movements. By the time I got to the lab, it was pretty clear I was not going to get a test for this. So, it pretty much shut down on me right then and there. So I do not have the sample tested. I don't know how to. I think it would be very useful to do so. Now, interestingly enough, as we know, there have been a bunch of unusual deaths recently among microbiologists and other scientists who are working on particular projects. In February of 2005, this year, Gisa Angara, who is a chemist in Passaic, which is on the East Coast, whose job was water testing, was found dead at work, her body dumped into a tank. So maybe that's why I can't get it tested. I'm not sure.
They're shutting down any kind of access.
Well,
Do they have any kind of home water? I guess those wouldn't really work. You could get your own kind of home kits or something. Because we don't even know what we're looking for.
The thing about that is, there's some things that filter out microorganisms, but we don't know what this is.
Yeah, we don't
know if it's arsenic. We don't know. I mean, we don't know what it is.
I wouldn't be surprised if it's not arsenic, because I've seen it come up lots of times in the Bible codes in relation to coffee. And I'm thinking, how can they poison our coffee? Well, I see the term arsenic all the time, so it wouldn't surprise me. Wouldn't surprise me in the least.
Well, whatever it is, having gotten curious, and actually, well, there's a whole story of how that happened, but I did imbibe some of the stuff, and it does attack the cardiac functioning. That it goes, they're not messing around. They're not, it's not like something slow growing like cancer. It goes straight to your cardiac functioning, which...
So all these people that are being targeted will just drop over in cardiac arrest?
I'm sorry, what?
They would just drop over with heart attacks?
Yeah, they would drop over with heart attacks or strokes. Actually, after I imbibed it and I realized I got myself very sick, I went to the doctors immediately, like emergency, and my blood pressure, which rests at about 110 over 70, was 280 over 200. And that was from drinking water.
From drinking water?
That was from drinking water. And that was when I got curious about what would happen if I drank. So, yes, it will cause cardiac failure or stroke. And since a person can't live without water, you can go without food for quite a while. But water and air are the two basic necessities for human life on this planet. So if they mess up your water, what are you going to do? Most people won't realize what the problem is. They'll just die. Some people will figure out pretty quickly that, something's going wrong and may be able to do something to help themselves. Like go elsewhere. But it's a very evil plan, because basically they're allowing people to kill themselves.
Yeah.
Everybody needs to drink water, so people will be killing themselves rather than somebody coming to your door like a stormtrooper, knocking it down and plugging you full of bullets.
Yeah, they don't plan on coming after you. They just plan on coming in to clean up. Right. They have cleanup crews, and take out all the dead bodies.
There's going to have to be an awfully big cleanup crew for this mess.
We've heard of where they've stockpiled millions of body bags outside of certain cities, and, that stuff's been going around for years, and now you're seeing why. It's not just, a 4 o'clock, massive bombardment of soldiers taking people out of their homes. Just kind of walk in and clean people up because they're already dead.
So they have all these, waste trucks I mean, I guess they pick up garbage now. I guess they can be picking up people.
They're just going to be picking up corpses.
See, I hope, it is my fervent hope that by disseminating this information, somehow the information can reach critical mass among the audience and something can be done. Because if everybody knows, or a critical mass amount of people know that this is going to happen, maybe they won't be able to pull it off. And that is the reason that I am trying to get on the air as much as possible about this, in the hopes that maybe somehow or another this can be diverted and lives can be saved.
And we've seen it. I've seen it over and over again. People don't think, well, you're just one person. Who cares what you have to say? It's not going to affect their agenda. They're bigger. They're more powerful. There's more of them than you. But I've seen over and over again where if you expose what they're going to do, they switch tactics.
Well, they probably would switch tactics. They probably have some, they probably have some backup plans.
Yeah, well, they always do.
They probably do. But all I can think about is that human life is precious and holy, and that the government does not have the right to take life.
Right.
And they are doing it left and right. They're doing it with, they're coming at the people who know.
And they're committing treason.
At the people attempting to expose them.
They're protecting it.
Kill the messenger. Kill the messenger.
Yeah, well, they always come after the messengers.
Right. Oh, yes, they do. Yes, they do. Speaking of this messenger, who now is unable to work in conventional media, there has been some retaliation. I do want to speak of it briefly because it is part and parcel of this situation. My apartment has been seized. My bank account has been emptied out. My safety deposit boxes where there were gold, diamonds, all kinds of stuff have been actually gone into, and my assets have been seized. People are not aware that this level of retaliation can actually happen, but it can happen. And it needs to be stated because I believe it adds credence to the information. There has been a real attempt shutdown of my ability to continue doing what I'm doing.
Oh,
so
yeah, they keep you jobless.
That just to mention that may add credence to the weight of this information.
You really got to wonder why they do the things they do, because so many people, myself and Tim and Larry and you and so many people that work every day to expose the New World Order, they really give us no option because you cannot go out and get a job. I have 3 college degrees. I was in news. My background is in news. There's very many others who have degrees or special skills, cannot get jobs, and they really leave you no choice but just go ahead and spend your time exposing them.
Well, actually, I believe they create the monsters they intend to suppress.
Yeah, they do, because
when you realize that your information has led you into a place where they, I've had jobs since this happened. They show up, and they threaten the bosses. So they leave you no option but to come at them with the truth. Because I believe that the pen is the only acceptable weapon.
Yeah.
Or the voice over the radio. Same thing, basically.
Yeah. And good for us that, we've got the Internet for now.
Yeah.
When they shut the Internet down, there goes any kind of form of real viable communication. And we've heard threats. They're already coming out with a new Internet, testing it in colleges now. The next one that's coming out.
Really?
Yeah. And then I've heard that the next one they're making it sound like, oh, it's faster downloads and whatever. But what it's basically going to do is make it illegal for anyone to have an information website that isn't licensed by the government. So all of these websites people like me have up will come down. Mm-hmm. You could be thrown in jail for putting up an information that has news or